Sami Zayn has a mouthful, and it's directed at every single person who'll listen. Adam Pearce's underwear is full of fear, and Greensboro's full of anger. I'm Casualeann. Come with me. Talking Smack begins with the opening promo with Roman and the wise man Paul Heyman announcing the Battle Royal to determine the #1 contendership for Roman's Universal Championship. He was on level 250 jerkiness, and it was sensational, let me tell you. Ask me how I know, because I was there in Greensboro for the taping, and I was right with him on all his points. Yes, he's our tribal chief. Yes, he smashes folks, until he hit that greatest of all time. See, that's where he lost me. Redmond and Camp, Leaf graphics ablaze, welcome us to Talking Smack, and Redmond clarifies, oh so tactfully, that goat-iness he's referring to is self-proclaimed. And she lets us know that Peter Rosenberg is stopping by, so it is a thing, folks. At least for the foreseeable future. They're going to pull off a 3-person format with a longer runtime. They've been creeping up to 25 minutes for the past few weeks now. They go into the quick headlines that Sami Zayn is indeed the #1 contender for Roman's Universal Championship, and Brock Lesnar has been reinstated. Then they go further into the Black Friday Invitational Battle Royal. My goodness. When I tell you that we went absolutely nuts when we thought maybe Jeff Hardy had won, it was unreal, the screaming in there. But I'd seen Sami go through the second rope, so from that point, I just kept asking, okay, where is Sami Zayn? When is he getting back in? Knowing good and well he was not coming back until someone else had already won, or thought they'd already won. And when Sami Zayn pushed Hardy over, the boos that were whipped at him, I went back and watched, and TV did not come close to capturing how loud it was. They wanted to tear that man's throat out. He got even more heat after the camera went off. He's calling us morons, how it doesn't matter how loud we boo, Jeff Hardy's lost. Ooh, it was heinous. Redmond and Camp were just as somewhat supposedly surprised by all of this as the rest of us, and they play an interview with Megan Morant and Sami Zayn from right after his victory. She tries to ask him about his thoughts, but prefaces it with, what a way to end SmackDown. And why? Why did she say that? Sami Zayn hops all over it. He asks, what does she mean by that? And she runs down all the facts. He won the Battle Royal, earned the opportunity to face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, and then got the announcement that Brock Lesnar's suspension had been lifted. And Zayn, bless his heart, goes on and on about this being the biggest moment of his career, how he's been maligned, he's been marginalized, but they found the time to step on his moment to announce that Brock's back. Like Brock needs the TV time. But then he pivots to Roman Reigns, this opportunity at the Universal Championship that he's been afforded. Finally, he has a chance at redemption. He acted like a nut, and I loved it. Jackie Redmond and Matt Camp go to Peter Rosenberg for more insight into Sami Zayn's win. Rosenberg says he didn't expect it. Thinking back at Survivor Series, there's no way he could have guessed that they would be here at Talking Smack, talking about Sami Zayn being #1 contender. Kemp points out those who were conspicuous by their absence from this match: Drew McIntyre, King Woods, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, arguably, these are most of the SmackDown roster's best hope as future contenders for the Universal title. Rosenberg accuses Camp of hating on Sami Zayn and that Zayn was just focused on who was in front of him. But Camp manages to sneak in that maybe Roman had something to do with those people being left out. After some ads, they briefly mentioned Drew McIntyre not being in the Battle Royal, but that he had a tag team match alongside Jeff Hardy against Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin. That's all they give us of that. And him wielding that sword, nearly taking the competitors' heads off, was one of the best moments of the night. But they highlight how heavily the WWE Universe has been behind Jeff Hardy, and Hardy's a vampire. I'm thoroughly convinced. Redmond says, who says WWE superstars don't win in their home states? That was a sentiment, but why would this tag match even matter? The answer? It doesn't. When Jeff Hardy got pushed off that turnbuckle at the end of the night, I wasn't thinking, wow, at least he won that tag team match earlier. I was thinking, this is some garbage. Well, and I was thinking Sami pushed him all the way off the top. I hope Hardy's all right. They can't be shoving him off of stuff like it's 2001, but their backs were to us, so it looked a lot worse than it actually was. Conversation moves to Charlotte, who did lose at Survivor Series. Then they ran back a piece of the interview she did with Michael Cole and Toni Storm confronting her, which led to the single dumbest moment of the entire night. Toni Storm, new star on the roster, receiving 2 pies in the face. No retribution, no cat fight, no fight, just whipped cream and sadness. Who did she make mad in the back? Who did she make mad in the back? The pair remark at the humiliation suffered by Storm, and they go to Megan Morant, who's with Toni Storm. She asks how she feels about all of this, and Toni remarks that she's in Charlotte's head now. Charlotte could have walked away. She had every opportunity, but she chose to embarrass her. The problem is Toni doesn't get embarrassed. Charlotte, however, will be when Toni takes her SmackDown Women's Championship. Great delivery, zero logic. The woman looked embarrassed. And she sold it after the cameras were off her too, when she was on her way to the back. I think this did neither woman any favors at all. And it had weird shades of the divas and early women's eras. After some ads, they returned, going to Cesaro and Ridge Holland's one-on-one match. I was so relieved that Cesaro actually won, though no finisher was involved. I'll take it though. I will say, with Ridge being new, I think he needed a debut win. So they could have had him face someone else, some jobber, beat them, and then Cesaro could have come out to challenge Ridge. Redmond says the fan next to Cesaro after the win missed an opportunity for a selfie. It looked like he was partially holding him up too, but I can't imagine what someone would be thinking at that point. Camp reminds us that the Holland-Sheamus partnership could be a dangerous one. And there's value in Holland sitting under the Sheamus learning tree. They turn to Brock Lesnar returning to SmackDown next week, tonight now, and how Kayla did a great job and how the head of the table will have to deal with all of this. At the end of the evening, the bloodline was definitely in their broody feels after that announcement. Absolutely delicious. Kayla Braxton has Adam Pearce, Brock Lesnar's most recent victim, who is still apparently having flashbacks from the ordeal. And he told Kayla earlier in the night that Brock wouldn't be back. And now Braxton wants to know his thoughts on the situation. His theme is, how can you ask me that? He wishes he would have known Brock was coming back. He reiterates that Brock put his hands on a cameraman and put everyone at risk. So, how does he feel? He thinks it sucks. Now he's gonna have to look Brock Lesnar in the eye, knowing Brock knows that he took a chunk out of his wallet and sent him home. He says he's gonna have to think about all of that and then walks off. Kayla lets us know that she's looking forward to Brock's return, and Redmond asks Rosenberg about what he thinks. Rosenberg thinks Adam Pearce sounds weak right now and quotes BB King. Doesn't give him credit, but quotes him. You have to pay the cost to be the boss. He says Adam Pearce made a decision to suspend him, and now he has to deal with it. My question is he the boss though? Is he really? There's still this lingering specter of someone higher than Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville making some decisions. That Pearce was somehow blindsided by all of this. Camp echoes that there's a lot going on with the chain of command, and it ultimately took Brock away from Survivor Series. Camp and Rosenberg are in agreement in their excitement about Brock Lesnar returning to SmackDown. Redmond brings back up the Heyman question, and Camp is on the side of Paul Heyman, playing whatever side is more lucrative at the moment. My rating is 4 out of 5. Solid interviews all around. Toni's was lacking a little bit in logic, but the delivery was great. The lack of logic is not her fault, obviously. I hope that they're not in the process of burying her right now, because I really want to see what she can do and what she can contribute on the main roster. Sami Zayn, the conspiracy theorist, is back. Oddly enough, I missed him. But the Brock Lesnar announcement has ignited a new fire in his hairy little belly. Adam Pearce performed adequately. He was passionate while still frightened half to death. It worked well. The must-watch interview is Sami Zayn. He's halfway between raving and making all the sense in the world, so just go back and have a look. I doubt you'll be disappointed. What do you all think? How many times is Adam Pearce going to get F5'd tonight? When will Sami Zayn take advantage of his championship opportunity? And how does Toni Storm recover from all of this embarrassment? Is she allowed to? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tap that bell icon to make sure you get notifications for when new videos come out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.